things might feel very heavy right now. Pull the Ten of Wands. Just like a big burden, big burdens on your shoulders. And it can seem like there's no way out of a bad situation or of just the various things that are going on in your life. Sometimes we are in a season of life where there is just so many things that we feel have piled up on top of each other. And it's like this weight sitting on you. And I can say I've been there many times. And in some ways, I'm in that season right now. So if this message finds you, it's really to say that you are not alone in this situation. You are not alone in having things be piled up. You're not alone in feeling helpless and overwhelmed. You are not alone in feeling like just this struggle. And sometimes I think we can ask ourselves, like, where is God? Where is the universe? Where is the support that I need? Where are the opportunities? Where is the guidance? Where is the messages that will help me push through? And I'm saying one of those messages is this, and it's that they're actually right here. They're closer than you think. When we get into this headspace that everything is far away, that God's far away, the universe is far away, these opportunities are far away, we miss that they're actually quite close. And just because things aren't exactly the way that you want them right now doesn't mean it'll be like this forever at all. I think one of the beautiful things about life is that we go up and down. No matter what good things happen, no matter how many things we get that we want, for some reason we find ourselves at times back in the Ten of Wands, back in an energy of overwhelm, back in an energy of burden and challenge and just a feeling of struggle. So what I want to share, or I've been guided to share with you now, is eventually the wait is over. Eventually things do change, but we have to stay open to two possibilities. We have to stay open to the possibility of change coming in. We have to stay open to the possibility of the fact that God is never far from you. God's always right by you, always right near you, always close and helping you, and the universe, even if it doesn't seem like help. It's kind of like the parent. Sometimes I was on a FaceTime with my sister-in-law, and she's got a 2-year-old kid, and she was trying to get the kid to brush his teeth, and he didn't want to, and he was crying, but she was just brushing his teeth anyway, and then as soon as it was over, he stopped crying, and he was fine. Sometimes the universe is like that with us. Sometimes it understands we need the struggle. Because if you don't have the struggle, for one, you don't know what good stuff is. And two, the universe and God has a different understanding and perspective than we do. We don't come to Earth to have everything be perfect and have everything go our way and have everything be exactly what we want all the time. We come to Earth to relearn and understand. I mean, one of the reasons, there's probably many, and if you have ideas of what you think we come to Earth for, I'd love to hear them, so leave them in the comments. We come to Earth because we appreciate the challenge from our higher perspective. We appreciate the experience of forgetting how powerful we are, forgetting who we are, relearning, having those small synchronicities appear and being called back to our spirituality and to our meaning and to our purpose and to our guidance. We appreciate that. That's why we come so many times down here. And I remember it was only a couple of years ago where I truly, truly understood the fact that we this is infinite. This is an infinite situation. It's an infinite loop where we can continue to, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. Reading this incredible book, Trans Reality Surfing, and it was in that I was listening to it in bed, and in that moment I realized, like, wow, like we are really here for life, which means that even if you end your life, you're coming back. So these burdens that we deal with, no matter how helpless we feel, no matter how challenged we feel, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. And I think it's that story that we tell ourselves, this is wrong, we're in a bad situation, this is not how it's supposed to be, that then not only keep us stuck, but stop us from seeing the truth. And the truth is that the life path that you're on is just one life path of potentially infinite experiences here on earth. And who are we to judge that? I've spent a lot of time in the last year wishing I could go back in time. I don't know if you've ever felt like that before. I wish I could go back in time, at least to a couple of years ago, and change the things that I've done, the things that I said, how I spent money, the decisions that I've made. There's a long list. And what we miss in that obsession, whether it's like with a better time or with childhood or even a nostalgia for a time that was, to be honest, equally bad, but for some reason we want to go back because we think we do it differently or we want another chance. All of those experiences have shaped this experience that you're having on earth right now. In the same way that exactly what you're dealing with right now, if you are in this Ten of Wands energy, is this is exactly where you're supposed to be. Exactly how you are supposed to be feeling. When we let that in and we just accept that and we open up to the possibilities that part of why we struggle and part of why we have these burdens is, again, to remember that negativity bias is no place to live. This idea that things will just keep being bad. Every day you wake up, same problems. Every day you wake up, can't let go of the burden, can't drop the wands, have to keep carrying this weight day in, day out, every single day, all the time. And that's just not the case. When we're confronted with heavy burdens, God is asking us to change the narrative. God is asking us to step into our power, to remember that we are 100% capable. We can handle anything that faces us. God will never give us more than we can handle. That, again, life is not about having it easy all the time. That it's in these moments where you are shaped. And if you think back to the past, it's true. When things are great, you're shaped in some ways, but it's a different kind of thing. And honestly, when things were really good, I actually kind of felt not so great either. I felt a little bit lost, a little bit directionless. I'm not sure if you felt that same way before too. It's when things are challenging, when you're in the midst of the breakup, when you're overwhelmed with your next step, when you're not quite sure what to do, when you pray and you say, God, what do I do next? Show me a sign. Where do I go? It's actually those moments that the soul craves. We crave it. Our human ideas don't. And you might be ultimately afraid of the future. I know I've been many times in my life. I don't want these burdens. I don't want this bad stuff. I don't want these things to happen to me because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to lead to a divorce. I don't know if it's going to lead to just bad things, breakups, pain, sadness, jail. Who knows? When you're going through this stuff, but it is a call to action to yourself to refine the faith. Because the universe wants to be close to you. And when things are great, You're usually not thinking about God. You're usually not thinking about your spirituality. You're usually not deepening your practices. You're not deepening your self-care and your meditations, and you're pushing yourself. And I don't want to use the word push because sometimes that has a negative connotation, but it's when things are hard that you do things that you really want to be doing too. When things are easy and everything's perfect and you have everything you want, again, that's usually where you stop prayer, you stop connecting, you stop up leveling, you stop trying new things. So I'm gonna pull one other card to see what can you do to get out of this Ten of Wands energy. What can we do to free ourselves? What do we need to reflect on? What do we need to look at? This is the Landscape Tarot. A few cards fell out, but I'm not going to take them all. So let's see. What do we need right now? Six of Pentacles. See, you see that? Six of Pentacles is about balance and about giving. I just moved to Austin about a month ago. I started going to a church here called Austin New Church. I have never been a churchgoer, but now that I'm, living in Texas for a bit, I felt called to connect with God because things have been challenging. Connect with God in a new way. So showing up on Sundays has been really nice. One of the things that I'm going to do this Sunday is they're doing like a water bottle drive because for this organization that gives water bottles to people who are unhoused, because that's something that they need a lot. And so you can just donate free flats to for this organization to do that. And you can see here in the card that there's like a basket of fruit on the doorstep here. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah. And I actually surprisingly pulled a card in an abundance deck, which I will actually do in this because it's an incredible deck. My wife and I just got it, and I'll pull a card for you from that too. But this is about, like, to get out of this overwhelm, we gotta give. We gotta tithe. I am not great at it. Anytime I get money, I'm usually a little bit scarce with it. I gotta keep it. I don't know when's coming next. I'm stressed out. No matter how much or little money I've had, I've realized if I really truly reflect, I'm stressed out. Even when I've had $100,000 months, which I have in the past, and even when I've had $0 months, I have this overwhelming feeling that I don't know what's gonna happen next, and I'm gonna run out. And guess what? Sometimes I do, and it sucks. But all this to say, if you're in this 10 of Wands energy, we gotta be giving. We got to be open. We got to be pouring into other people. And it doesn't mean you have to buy them stuff, but it does mean you got to focus on other people for a little bit. You got to focus on finding balance in supporting others emotionally, mentally, spiritually. If you post on social, post about them, not about what you can get or what sale you can make. Post because you want to give something to the world. Donate because you want to give, even if you don't have that much money. And I honestly, right after this video, I'm going to see if I can even donate $1 somewhere. Because I don't do it enough. And one thing I've learned, and these cards are just confirming that, is if you are feeling overwhelmed burdens, and you don't know what to do, and you don't know how to get out of it, and you don't know what God's asking you for, and you don't know where to turn. If this video found you, then the answer is turn to compassion of other people. Take an interest in your spouse. Ask them some questions. If you're single, call a friend. Ask them how they're doing. donate somewhere. Give $10, give $1. Volunteer. Get out of your own head. Post content with the objective of love and sharing with other people. And allow that energy in. Allow that energy in. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from the abundance deck for you, but I got to get it, so give me 1 second. All right, here we go. This is it. We found it at this store here in Austin. And then pulled some cards right away, so let me just... Oh, right away. So the card is Power of Prayer. Power of Prayer. I'll read it to you. Give this situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives you in response to your prayers. So one element of guidance was obviously that Six of Pentacles. Another element from this card, I would say, is to be open to miracles. Kind of as I was saying with the Ten of Wands. We get so stuck in repeating the same patterns, the same stories, the same ideas about who we are and what we get and what we deserve and how the day's going to go. I find myself stuck in that constantly. You know, Friday comes along and I'm like, oh man, it's the weekend. That means it's going to be hard to move the business forward because everyone's going to be on the weekend. Not necessarily. I've had people pay invoices on Saturdays. I've had, you know, you never know who's going to reach out to you or what's going to happen. So this is your call to be open to miracles, give to others as a way of getting out of the self-deprecating and heavy energy, and allow that love to flow through you so that you can brighten someone else's day, maybe impact someone else's life, and then therefore change your own emotional situation. All right, I'll see you in another one.